All the computer programs, all the apps that you have, somebody had to program that stuff. It's called app developing. App developers, they develop this stuff. So software program. And then you have the hardware. You actually have the hard components. If you have a computer, a laptop, you have some physical things that go into it. And then you have some digital things, some software things. And so you have the hardware and software together. And so what happens is that God actually made man. He constructed the hardware out of the dirt and dust of the ground, it says in Genesis chapter 2. And then he downloaded the software into man. He literally wrote the code, the programming code and script for how man should act. He literally did it. He said, I have made him in my image and my likeness, and then he gave him all this stuff to do. That was programming. Think of it as software programming, app developing. Now here's where the problem came. When Adam decided and Eve decided to do something different than what they were asked or commanded to do. They disobeyed God. They ate of the fruit. It was like a virus came in and corrupted their programming. Has anybody ever got a virus on your computer or maybe a virus on the phone or something crazy? And then what happens? It locks up. It starts acting weird. You get all these weird messages. Stuff starts going crazy and haywire. And it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating when that stuff doesn't act like the way it was supposed to, the way it was programmed to. And it wasn't because it came faulty from the software engineers, faulty from Apple or Mac or Windows. What happened was a virus came in, something that was foreign came in and corrupted something that was. The corruption in the earth is sin. And what happened is the enemy came to man, got him to sin, and what he did is he planted a virus into the software programming of man. So now man is literally malfunctioning. And we see, the shootings and all the other crazy stuff. And I know we've seen a lot here in Chicago. And, we just saw it on the news in Orlando. And people get shot at the nightclubs. And, some people are trying to understand why this is happening. And they're trying to find out where is God and all this. Let me tell you what happens. The effects of sin will drive people to death, violence, suicide, and crazy things. That is what sin does. And people who do not know God, they will sin. But us, as redeemed children of God, who know God, who've been blood washed, bought with a price, he will use us to stand in the gap if we take our proper position, so sin does not overcome in the world, but grace will much more abound. That's our position. That's why I can get up here at this altar and cry out, because I want to make sure that I'm in position so God can speak to me and use me, so others don't have to feel the consequences and the weight of sin, but they can see God's glory because I'm in position to make a change. Because I'm doing this, and maybe I pray for somebody's covered now in protection, and so they can go back to the south side, and that bullet that was meant to take them out no longer takes them out, because I stepped into my calling and I was in position to hear God, to pray for that young lady, to make sure that she's covered by the angels so her mom doesn't have to bury her. We're talking about position here. But I can't be in proper position if I'm so consumed with my own shame and guilt. And I'm missing God because the thoughts of what I've done wrong are louder than his voice in my heart.